So we've been following on the homecoming parade then of our Miss South Africa 2020 there. Shudufadzo Musida is indeed in Polokwane, in Limpopo, having her homecoming parade. My colleague Katlego Nyoni has been following the motorcade then for us. Katlego, where are we now? Earlier on, we were on Nelson Mandela Bride, headed towards Seshego. Have we perhaps passed it now? Do you get a sense and any word perhaps that we may even get Miss South Africa to address a crowd of people at some stage?
Hi there, Arabile. Yes, as I spoke to you earlier, we were approaching Seshego on the Nelson Mandela Drive. We ventured inside Seshego, a couple of sections. We drove around Zone 1. However, at that particular moment, the motorcade then opted to pick up speed, citing that there are time constraints that are going to affect the entire homecoming celebration. So we then had to exit Seshego. The vehicle that's transporting Shudufadzo had to then close its rooftop, meaning the end of the parade. We then picked up speed, unlike when we were going to Seshego, driving almost at snail pace speed. However, this time around, when we were driving back to Polokwane, traffic officers indicated to us that we need to pick up momentum and head back to Polokwane. As I speak to you now, we've actually just returned to the Miropa Casino in Polokwane. The second part of the program today will start. Of course, that is Shudufadzo moving to the Vembe District Municipality in the Makado area for other legs and other phases of this particular program. However, Arabile, as we have witnessed during the parade, Shudufadzo was excited to be welcomed into her home province, at one point recording videos of the moment as she was, her name was being screamed by cheering fans who were excited, screaming her name, some even whistling and some even screaming Shudu, Shudu along the road. And as we ventured into Seshego, then the crowd started to fade away a bit because we are on a long stretch of road. However, right now at this particular moment, we are in Miropa, which is where the breakfast session started in the morning. Arabile.
Yeah, so Katlego, where to from here and what happens then? What is the plan for later today? I mean, you noted some time constraints as well that she may be facing. What happens from here and what are the plans?
All right, so the second part of this specific 3-day homecoming celebration and extravaganza will not necessarily be in a form of a parade as we have witnessed here in Polokwane. That part is now the actual work where Shudu will then, in her element, visit a series of children's centers, children affected by mental health as well as poverty in rural areas. They are going to drive right now about 150 or so kilometers, just to give a sense of the geographical perspective. Polokwane is the capital of Limpopo. However, they're going to move another distance, about a 2-hour drive, to the Makado municipality, which is where her home village Habangani is. And tomorrow, then she will hit the ground running, and then she will spend time with leadership there. She will be accompanied by the Vembe Executive Mayor, Dowelani Nguda. There'll also be a visit to the Vavenda Royal Kingdom Palace. Of course, there she will be accompanied, or rather she will interact with King Tony Mpepu Ramabulana. Then that will culminate, of course, in a series of other events leading into Saturday morning, where she'll be at her home village, Habangani.
Yep, all right. My colleague there, Katlego Nyoni, following on from Miss SA 2020, Shudufadzo Musida's homecoming there out in Polokwane as well at present, continuing to follow through then on the day's proceedings. We'll see how things fare there, of course, as she comes home to her region and her province.